all of a sudden now it's able to disperse throughout the body, and that's why you feel that immediate relief. Essentially, is that true, or is there more to it than that? Or I'm just really fascinated by this, to be honest. Most importantly, does it hurt? What's up, everybody? I'm Walter Hooper, and this is another edition of Marketing Minds Meet. We are at the Knot co-working space in Grosse Pointe Park, Michigan. This is where you can come to get all of your homework, including schoolwork, that pun intended. But if you're working from home, or let's say you are in school, whether it's college or high school, please stop by, come check us out, and we have plenty of available space for you to rent out to focus and get those assignments and get that work done that needs to be done. But I am here sitting with today a first timer ever on a podcast, which is really exciting. And this individual happened to just walk into the Knot and was talking with Shelly, who is our business development director here, and one thing led to another, and we started corresponding, and she is a entrepreneur, business owner, and I am thrilled and excited to have here today with me Anita Miko, who is the owner of the Traveling Acupuncturist. Anita, how are you?
Hello, thank you for having me.
So why don't you tell everybody about you and your journey and how you got into starting your business, the Traveling Acupuncturist?
Okay, yes. I started this side gig as a branch from my day job. We had the opportunity to do a training for acupuncture, and I was just curious. I signed up. It was actually one of our partner agencies, a Native American organization, who was putting this on. It was part of a suicide prevention initiative. So it was a grant-funded training that they were putting on right kind of like at the end of COVID. So it was the first in-person, any type of training that my job has ever put on. And I was there. It was at a hotel. It was in person. It was acupuncture, something really interesting and foreign to me at the time. So we did the training together, and at the time I thought, okay, this is something cool. Maybe I'll use it for clients, for friends, family. But as time went on, I felt the benefits of doing it on myself, and then things really blossomed in my mind as far as this becoming a business when I got pregnant and I had insomnia really bad, and this was the only thing that really helped me to sleep at night. And then I thought, all right, this has to spread farther than just my immediate circle. And that's when I started the business.
Nice. And you said that, how long ago was that again?
This was a year or two ago. Yeah, my baby is 1 year old.
Okay. All right. Nice. So a year, maybe two, like you say, year, 2 years. And so far, what would you say has been like one of the challenges you've noticed so far, doing what you do and having this new opportunity?
Man, the biggest challenge is the marketing piece. It's letting people know what this is, who may need it, why they would like it. Because a big part of my business is I do this in a group setting. So I do this for businesses as pop-ups, as like an employee wellness treat, as basically something in a group setting. And that's the hardest thing, is really explaining that to a vendor or someone who might hire me to do this.
Okay. So really trying to branch out into that big group setting. But then like you said, it's how people find out about you through that. How are people able to find out that is what you do? If that is one of the challenges. So since this is Marketing Minds Meet, we'll just get right into the actual marketing portion of it. Okay. What would you say has been so far your biggest successes and your challenges with your digital marketing efforts? Have you seen growth in email campaigns and landing page campaigns, or have you seen growth in social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Threads even now? Where have you seen the biggest successes with your digital marketing efforts, and then where do you see the challenges with digital marketing for you at this time?
Well, as far as the digital and digital marketing, I am in the dinosaur ages. I have not done a lot of that, mainly because it's a business that I feel like I have to explain, that you can't just watch a quick clip and then it's gonna put the light bulb in someone's head. So I have not invested any money or time or effort into doing like actual campaigns. The best, you asked what has worked the most, and honestly it's been kind of word of mouth, and in speaking with people and meeting businesses, mentioning it as like, oh, I also do this. I could really imagine this hitting it off in your space. I can imagine your clientele or your members taking advantage of this and benefiting from it. I'll give you an example. We recently I did an event for a domestic violence shelter, and I did this for their staff as well as the survivors there, and it just happened to be Domestic Violence Month, and I reached out to the organization and said, hey, I know this is your month. I would like to give this as a treat to some of the women that you work with, some of the staff who does the hard work. Are you interested in exploring this? So that led to another visit back to them. And it's things like that where I just, kind of see an opportunity, see a need, see somewhere where I may be of benefit, and then directly approaching that entity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think especially for those, like you said, those group settings, and I'll speak for myself, when it comes to like acupuncture, like I don't understand it, but it's something that's, I know it's there, it exists. But I think, if you were to have that group setting, and it seems like, you would do very well in trying to just break that down in layman's terms for the guests and for the attendees, and not have it go over their head like that, especially because #science. But so I guess maybe to get into the next thing, what are some of the biggest benefits of going through acupuncture and going through that process and that treatment?
Okay. I can speak for the type of acupuncture that I do, which is a limited form. It's an abbreviated method, and it's just on the ears, which is why I can do it in a group setting, why I can travel doing it. Our ear, imagine it like those diagrams you've seen when you went to a massage parlor, or you've seen like a diagram of someone's foot, and each of the areas correspond to an organ or a system of the body. The ear is very similar. It's a map of the body, and each area corresponds to a different organ or a system that can be affected by stimulating that area. So auricular acupuncture, it just consists of 5 needles in each ear, so 5 areas of the body that you're treating, that you're stimulating. And the 3 main benefits are for anxiety, stress reduction, that's one. Insomnia, help with sleep is another. And the third one is to help with addiction. And there is kind of a fourth one. It's people who are experiencing cancer and have had chemotherapy. It helps with the side effects like the nausea, things like that.
Okay. Let's go to because this is my show. Let's go right to the addiction. How does that work? Like, I mean, I know how addiction works, but but how does the treatment of ear acupuncture help with addiction and curbing that and waning that down?
With the addiction piece, it is cumulative. Sometimes when I say that to people, I've had multiple people be like, wait a minute, I don't know because I don't want to stop drinking. And I assure them that one session is not going to kick that habit.
It's okay. Don't worry. It's fine. Everything's fine.
So it's very much cumulative. The anxiety and the insomnia piece, those are immediate. Like, you will feel it that day. You will immediately feel relaxation. If you're wearing one of those smartwatches, you'll see that your heart rate drops, and you will sleep better that night, the next night. But the addiction, which you asked, that one is on a consistent basis. That's actually how this abbreviated method was developed in the 70s. So it's not old. It's a very new practice. And they founded it in New York at a detox center because they found that if they could just treat the residents there once a week, couple times a week with these 5 points while they're already there, they're sitting there in their group session, easy peasy. It really helped with the long-term kicking those habits.
It's really interesting, and forgive me as I open my liquid death here. It's water, I promise. So with the anxiety and you said depression too, right? With those two, I would venture to, now again, I am not a scientist, nor do I pretend to play one on TV. But it would almost seem like when with that treatment, it would almost seem as if once the needle hits a certain part of the ear, it releases some sort of endorphin or some sort of chemical where all of a sudden now it's able to disperse throughout the body, and that's why you feel that immediate relief, essentially. Is that true, or is there more to it than that? Or I'm just really fascinated by this, to be honest. Like, yeah, and I think most importantly, does it hurt?
I can answer the pain question because that's an easy one. The needles are very thin. It's not like the needles that you get poked with at the doctor's office. It's not like the hypodermic needles that have the hollow where you take the blood. They're kind of like, some are just as thin as a piece of hair almost. So it doesn't hurt. You will feel when the needle goes in, not every needle, but I can't guarantee that you're not going to feel a single one go into your ear. Certain areas are more sensitive than others, but as I put in each of the 5 needles, people usually say like, oh, I felt that, but not that one. Like, oh, are they all in? So you feel it initially, the sensation of something hitting your skin, but then after that, no, it does not hurt, because the whole premise is you are supposed to be actually feeling the effects, that relaxation sensation, while you're sitting with the needles in your ear. So it's not like you're just trying to pressure through this 30 minutes so I can keep these needles in and then feel good afterwards. No, you feel good during and after.
And what would you say is the most popular the most popular acupuncture treatments that you've seen so far with your clients and your clientele that's been the most requested?
Most people want it for the anxiety piece. And I think that's also where my business has a convenient niche, because, if you're just trying to treat anxiety, insomnia, something like that, you don't think it's worth going to an actual acupuncturist, like checking if does your insurance cover it, paying $200 at some odd dollars. Most people are like, I'm not that bad off. I mean, we do that with legitimate illnesses. So,
oh boy, do we ever?
Off, yes. So with this business, if you can do it in a group setting on the cheap, I mean, when I do group sessions, it's $25 a person. That's like a copay. And that gets someone thinking, okay, I'm up for it. Like, let me try it. Yeah, I'm anxious. Like, anxious enough for $25, maybe not $200.
Yeah, because that $200 is going to make me anxious as it is.
Yes.
So when it's kind of backpedal a little bit. So when you went to the seminars and all that and that training, do you have to have some? I would assume you have to have some sort of certification and qualification that you receive after all is said and done. So then that way people are willing to trust you more. Especially when you're putting these little things in your ear and what have you. So that's all taken care of and covered.
Yes, I was trained through the organization is called NADA. It's the National Acupuncture Detoxification Association, and it's in North America, but it's global. They do trainings and they have a presence in multiple different countries globally, and we get trained, we practice during our training, then we go out, we have to have X number of participants who are willing to be subject to our to our freshly trained hands, and then we go back to the trainer, we demonstrate our skills again, and then that's when you get the final certification. So I'm not a doctor of Chinese medicine. The big purpose of this NADA organization is they want acupuncture in more people's hands, and a limited protocol like this is not it's not that complex that it should be done by a doctor. So the people that they primarily certify or that they work with, who they train, are lay people like first responders, therapists, that's a big one, social workers, people in the healthcare field. So people who are kind of circulating in these circles already, but if they could just get this training and introduce more people to the benefits of acupuncture, it not only could serve the benefit of those few ailments that I mentioned, but it could also introduce people who have more serious ailments to acupuncture, who can then go seek out a Chinese medicine doctor, go to a facility, and get more serious long-term treatment.
So to segue then to the Chinese medicine, what does that next step entail? So they go to you, and then they realize, okay, maybe, you're amazing, you're great, but now I think I need to maybe up the level here a little bit. What is it that the Chinese acupuncturist and Chinese medicine doctor is going to be able to do that that you would be able to hand off to them? What is it about them that they're able to help with the patient or the client?
Yes, higher level reasons to visit someone other than me would be things like infertility. I don't want to waste someone's time saying, oh, sure, I'll decrease your anxiety and then you can get pregnant. No, that's more serious. I would want someone seeking those services to go to an actual acupuncturist. Like chronic pain, back pain, joint pain, things like that. Just 5 needles in the ear isn't going to take care of that. I do have surprises of people with, physical ailments, but it's not like the really serious stuff. Heavy migraines, things like that are worth going to an acupuncturist because they're also trained in not just the acupuncture piece, but they're herbalists, so they can give you many of them have the herbs right there. They send you off with them, and you're attacking the problem from multiple different angles.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, because that's always... I've always been intrigued by that, and especially like seeing like the movies or like everything. You see the people they look like a porcupine with all the needles sticking out, but it's like each one, it serves a purpose. It's helping in the long run with the individual's health and helping them to become and get better. So that's really cool. I did not know that. So, we talked a little bit about digital marketing. We talked about, have you looked into what it might look like for the traveling acupuncturist to be involved with Web 3.0 and whether it's the metaverse or augmented reality? We have been made known that Apple is going to be releasing their augmented reality glasses here in 2024. And have you looked into entering that realm where now maybe you're able to offer, dare I even say, borderline fourth dimension style treatments to clients where you know, all they would need is just to have their glasses on. You have your glasses on, and then you're able to treat them and help them in this new way, you know, as opposed to just, you know, and you could do. I mean, it's so possible that you could do group sessions in this style and this element of interacting socially online. Is that something you've thought about? You've kind of exercised the idea of wanting to get into?
Ooh, no, with the glasses that you speak of. So I would be somewhere completely else, like different room, different place on the globe.
Yep.
That would be hard because how would I get the needles into their ears?
Well, I mean, we haven't figured out those schematics. This is just you know, I mean, shoot. I mean, we had a run with NFTs and digital art that sold for thousands upon thousands of dollars. You know, it's just something I throw out there because, you know, whether we like it or not, Web 3.0, it is here. It's just not. It hasn't hit the main waves yet, and I really feel like when Apple does release their glasses, that will be the big hurdle and the big leap for the general public to finally go, oh, okay, this is what it's all about. I think when Facebook and Zuckerberg tried to do their metaverse, the concept was there. I think they just were a little overzealous with it, in my opinion, but that's just me.
Yeah, maybe just timing. What I can see, what you describe benefiting is the training for this modality. You know, like I said, we were one of the first groups that were trained here this side of Michigan during COVID, and I can imagine part of the AccuDetox training taking place virtually, but it would have to be more sophisticated than the Zoom and the Teams that we're used to. Like if you really could wear the glasses and see and kind of guide someone as they're placing a needle to, you know, give them live feedback of, no, just a little higher, or you see that groove, put it under there, and then now place it. What does it feel like? You know, a little bit more sophisticated than through video as we know it.
Right. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, training. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, because you could do it worldwide. You wouldn't even have to be in the same room, like you said. You have someone be out in Europe, another person in Asia, another individual in Australia. You know, and you'd all be right there in the training room together. Through, like you said, it's a more amplified Zoom where now you're able to see each other because now you have these avatars that you've created. So yeah, it's Web 3.0 stuff. So let's get into. I like to get into a little bit. I call this the challenge course here on the program. You like this? All right, first one. Tell me something about what you do that you don't like and why.
It would have to be making that initial reach out to pitch my services, and it just feels icky. I don't like it.
How come?
Because it feels like I'm asking for a favor. You know, like it feels like which is eventually it. You know, I'm asking for your business. I'm asking to make money from what I'm about to tell you, and it. You know, having worked in social work so long, you're used to just offering, and asking nothing. You know, that's my day job. That has been my world up until now. And so it's just a bit of a deviation to pitch myself and to really, well, no, let me explain, or it could be like this, or I could do this. Like, I really can envision this working XYZ.
No, I get what you mean. I that was somewhat of the case when I first started. I think really with most business owners too, when they start out, like, you know, obviously you want to be able to make a profit, but also at the same time you don't want to look like you're just, you know, panhandling either. But in this case, you're not. Like, you're offering something you're offering a niche service that, I don't know very any others in this area do, especially here in the points. And also part of it too could be, and I think maybe this comes with time, like just knowing what your worth is as a business, and like what you're offering, and maybe that just takes time. Could be. So no, I like that. That's a good answer.
Yes, time and practice, I hope.
Yeah, time and practice for sure. So this next one, do you listen to blues music at all?
No, I'm sorry, no blues.
Okay, so there was a blues artist by the name of Robert Johnson. This is going to get a little windy here, so but I'll try and keep it short and sweet and straight to the point. So he was known as to be one of the greatest blues guitarists in the entire world, and he was prominent throughout the 30s and going in somewhat into the 40s. There's a mythos that goes where he was traveling, because you just traveled by foot, or you just caught a wagon or whatever, and he came up to a crossroads in the Mississippi Delta, and the mythos goes is that he happened to encounter an individual that helped him tune his guitar, but in turn, and when he did that, he also made him an offer where he said, "I'll tune your guitar, and then when I give it back to you, you will become the greatest guitar player that ever lived." At this point, he was okay. He had a teacher of his that even went on record and saying that, he was all right. He wasn't anything to really write home about. But then he saw him, the next time he saw him, it was like night and day. It was like he'd never seen anything like it. And even just the way he played, it sounded like there should have been two guitar players playing with him, but really it's just one. And it's very hard to emulate. But in doing so, after he had his guitar tuned, as the legend goes, he had sold his soul to the devil himself. So he had all this talent. He had the fame, the praise, whatever. Well, one night, I believe he was the age of 27. Don't quote me on that. You'll have to Wikipedia that. But he was in his 20s, and he was at a bar, at a juke joint, and ordered a drink, and it was poisoned, and he died a premature death. But he became to be one of the greatest guitar players in the world, and is still renowned as one of the greatest, and has been a staple, a nucleus for all things blues and really rock and roll. So my question to you, Anita, is this: if you were to happen to meet the devil in the crossroads or wherever, and the devil made you an offer and said, "I can make you the most world-renowned traveling acupuncturist," people would be begging for your services. They want to book what you would have the highest of corporations booking you, and you would have to make a waiting list for a bunch of these individuals. However, just because Robert met his fate with his life doesn't mean that the same could happen to you. This could also mean that, well, really, family, loved ones, friends, whoever, they're at jeopardy. They're at stake. So something could happen, but you would be world renowned. You'd be famous. You would have all the money, the fame, everything, and you'd be set. Do you take the offer?
No, it's not worth that risk, especially when there's other people involved.
Well, you're a good person, so I've only had 2 people say yes to that. Yes, yeah.
And what were their professions?
Well, to be honest, I asked him. I think I was out one night with a buddy of mine. We were at a bar in Ferndale, and they sat next to us, and we were just chatting, and could have been the alcohol talking. So, but they said they would do it,
okay.
Without hesitation. Without hesitation, I was like, okay, all right.
Maybe you got to bring alcohol on this podcast then. Get some more yeses.
I mean, I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. Okay, well, that ends the challenge course of the show. But we're going to now go into our live stream portion. We're going to go on our YouTube channel here, and we're gonna ask a fun question here, a lighthearted question now. So, what's going on, everybody? I'm Walter Hooper, and this is a Marketing Minds Meet live stream edition. And I have here with me a Grosse Pointe resident and a business owner. They are the owner of the Traveling Acupuncturist. I'm here with Anita Miko. What's going on? How are you?
Hello, I'm well.
So we've been chatting here and getting to know each other more. She stopped by actually a week and a half or so ago, and just happened to, it was actually during the infamous power outage that happened in the area. So she stopped in, and we're looking to have her do an event here, which I'm really excited to get to know and attend and even document even. But we're chatting here, getting to know each other, and I want to know now, what are some of your favorite hobbies and activities you enjoy when you are not running your business like the boss that you are?
Hobbies include, first thing that comes to mind is cats.
Really?
Yes. We have a cat, love cats, love cooking, experimenting with new recipes, rollerblading, getting out in the sunshine. I love this time of year. And what's one more? Oh God, YouTube, of course, my guilty pleasure. I mean, I couldn't not say it, especially on a live stream. Yes, that is usually what I'm doing when I have downtime. That's
right. This will help with the algorithms too, so thank you. So let's go back to the cats, because I love cats too.
Okay.
We actually, at my house, I have like 4 or 5 like strays. Like there's like 4 or 5 kittens now. Mm-hmm. So I've named them. I've unofficially become a cat dad. Uh-huh. So yeah, they just chill out in my backyard. They'll reside under the porch. What kind of cat do you have?
Oh, mine is just like a very plain, just a white house cat. What do they call it? American domestic short hair. Nothing exciting.
And what's the cat's name?
It's Bruno.
Bruno! I love it.
Yes. When we got him from the shelter, his name was Uno, and he had been there for a full year. So we didn't want to change it up too much, since we figured he's been there a year. I didn't even realize cats can stay there that long, but we figured, well, he's used to hearing that, so let's just add a B.
I love it. You're not a dog person?
I'm too lazy for a dog, to be honest.
You know what? That's okay, because I know I love dogs, but I'm not around. I'm not around enough to be, and I give props to anybody that has a dog, that owns it and gives it the proper care, because I know I can't do that, and so I don't want to do a disservice to the animal, and neglecting when I know that there's more suited and fitted owners that would be able to handle. So that's why cats, I'm right there with you. Cats are, you can leave food and water and make sure the litter is cleaned out, and you're good to go. You could travel.
I could be a traveling acupuncturist.
Yeah, you could be a traveling acupuncturist.
We've come full circle.
Right. Cooking. What do you like to cook?
Anything vegetarian, something healthy, something wholesome. I also have a sweet tooth, so baking, making. I'm always on a kick to make like the perfect tea latte. That's something that I'm always looking for. If somebody has a good recipe, I'm up for help on a latte.
On a tea latte?
Tea latte, yep.
That's a thing?
I thought we had so much in common.
Well, I love lattes. I just never had a tea latte.
Oh,
What is that? What? Obviously, there's tea in it. Like, is it? is it a healthier, alternative to regular my caffeine like my coffee lattes? Like, what are the pros of a tea latte?
Well, slightly less caffeine, but added antioxidants. And I mean, coffee has its benefits too. Coffee's back. I'm not going to knock it. But I just like the flavor of tea. Really, I don't like the flavor of coffee or alcohol. I'm lucky in that sense. But I do love the different flavors of tea, like herbal teas, green teas, black teas, and then mixing it with milk and sweetener. It's divine. And whipped cream.
Do you use whole milk or like soy or whatever?
I vary that up too. Yeah. Or half and half. It just depends.
Okay. Yeah, to be honest, I only really drink tea really if I'm sick. Like, I like it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if my body is just gravitates to coffee. I love the smell of it. I love unlike my mom. My mom loves the smell of coffee, but she hates how it tastes. But I love the smell. I love the taste. Maybe it's just habit. It's routine for me. But I do want to get into some more teas. Because I know that it's really good for you, and there's so many great health benefits. Especially when I'm sick too. Like I'll try to get like the teas with like the boosted vitamin C and all that, and it does make a difference. And you add the honey in there. Oh, it's the best. Yes. It's the best. But so you cook vegan, vegetarian dishes. Are there any particular that like are your favorites to cook, or?
I would say one of the family go-tos is we try to mock the Chipotle dish, like the Chipotle bowls.
Really?
So mastering that dressing is key. Usually that's a go-to, just like have a bowl of rice, add corn, beans, some chopped up veggies, and then my husband's not a vegetarian, so like either chicken for him, or if I can get a good meat substitute that even he'll like, then we put that in there. Lettuce, sour cream, cheese, and then the dressing. The dressing is key, the honey vinaigrette.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm with your husband in the sense that I do like I'm a meat eater. I am a carnivore. So the grill, my charcoal grill has been like my best friend for the last couple years. So there's nothing like it, but I know you could grill some stuff, some vegetarian dishes on there too.
Yeah.
So, real quickly too, if you want to just tell everyone here, just about what you do, your business, who you're looking to connect with. I know you mentioned groups and group settings. So yeah, go ahead and just let everyone know about the Traveling Acupuncturist.
Thank you. So this business, the Traveling Acupuncturist, I like to go where the people are already gathered. So whether that's a workplace and you want this to be like a wellness, self-care event for your staff, I'm there. A gym, a yoga studio, a space just like this, like the Knot, a co-working space. I would love to work with like police, fire departments. I mean, they need that anxiety reduction more than anybody. Schools. What else? I would also really like to work with cancer patients. It's one of the lesser known benefits of auricular acupuncture is to treating the side effects of the chemo, the nausea. That's something I have not done. I have not worked with cancer patients, so I would like to get into that. And any space where people come regular, like a book club, a church club, that's my prime audience is I show up, I do something unique for the group that's beneficial. If you like it, I could come regularly. If you want it to just be a one-off event, that's great too. I've done pop-ups at the local juice bar down the street. I've done...
It's Rhythm Blue, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so things like that. You get the idea.
Yeah. Actually, I might have... So yeah, I think I know a good individual I could connect you with. She likes doing, so she has a salon and spa, the Lawn. Owner's name is Betsy. What up, Betsy? She's all about like doing that kind of collaborative stuff and just trying new things out. And I it would seem like it would be right up there, Allie. I'll have to connect you too.
Okay, thank you in advance.
And real quickly before we log off here, how can people reach out to you if they want to inquire about your services and what you do, booking you? Is there a website, phone number, email address, social media links? What do you got? This is the time to plug all of the promo things.
Thank you for that. The best way to get a hold of me is to visit the website. It's just travelingacupuncturist.com. So visit travelingacupuncturist.com and you'll see my contact information there. If it's too long to spell out, I will give you my phone number. You could just text me something like, hey, what is this about? And then we can start the conversation. But my number is 313-585-4612, and we can connect that way.
Awesome. Thank you so much for doing this and taking the time and being here. And welcome back to the Knot. It's good to have you back. Yeah, Anita Miko, the Traveling Acupuncturist. Get yourself well, get better. If you're feeling anxious or you gotta de-stress, like go to her, book her. Ask her about her services, and I can promise you will not regret it. Anita, thank you so much for being here and doing this, and I'd love to have you back on the program.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you, everybody. This has been another edition of Marketing Minds Meets. I'm Walter Hooper, and we'll see you next time.